Hey guys, welcome back. I am super excited to share today's video with you. As you can tell from the title, I am sharing my first ever herbal detox experience with you. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Before I jump in, today is such a nice rainy, cloudy, gray day. I love days like this, especially living in Southern California where it's always sunshine and warm weather and good vibes. I can appreciate these days much more. Hence why I have on this sweatshirt. I picked it up at a event that I went to recently, and it's so cozy, you guys. I love the colorway, the brown and the orange. Super cute. But anyways, let's hop back into today's topic. Oh, and before we jump in, if you're not already connected with me on Instagram, feel free to look me up and connect with me there. I am at Dr. Knox DMP. Now, I have never done an herbal detox before. I've never done any type of detox before ever in my life. So let's start off by just talking about what is an herbal detox. Simply put, an herbal detox is the consumption of a variety of herbal beverages or teas that are supposed to help cleanse the body and rid it of toxins and waste. Now, I do believe that our bodies are already set up to detox themselves. It's part of the way we were created. If you look into the anatomy and physiology of things, our kidneys, our liver, our skin, all of these things are in place and they have detoxification mechanisms and processes already in place. Because of that, I've never really been inclined to do any type of detox. I'm like, my body's already doing the detoxing for me. However, this was something that I felt inclined to do more so out of curiosity. And I also believe that the way that we eat in particular here in America is really harmful to our bodies. When you look at the standard American diet, often called the SAD diet, all of the ingredients, the lack of things that we eat traditionally in our culture here in America, I do believe that a detox can be beneficial from that standpoint as well. Now, I'm naturally a pretty curious person, so I was like, let me do this for myself. It was more so an experiment for me. I didn't have any crazy expectations. I simply wanted to see how I felt before, during, and after, so that I could see for myself firsthand if it was an experience that I enjoyed, if I found it beneficial, if it was something that I would recommend. What are some of the reasons that people do detoxes, herbal detoxes in particular? Well, one of the reasons is what we just mentioned a little while ago. It is something that people do in order to rid themselves of toxins that have accumulated in their body and to rid themselves of waste accumulation. Other reasons some people may do an herbal detox is to jumpstart or kickstart their health and wellness journey. Some people do it as an effort to engage in weight loss or jumpstart that process. Some people do it to decrease bloating and sluggish effects that they may have, and some people simply do it to increase their energy levels. Some of the benefits that people have mentioned as a result of doing an herbal detox include, but are not limited to, clearer skin, increased energy levels, weight loss, improved digestion, decreased brain fog, and better sleep quality. There are so many different herbal detoxes available on the market today. It's like, how do you even end up choosing which one would be the right fit for you? I have been following Dr. Bobby Price on YouTube, Instagram, primarily here on YouTube, for quite some time. I enjoy the content that he puts out. Seeing him show up consistently online and seeing just his thoughts and his perspectives on health here in the U.S., along with seeing the reviews that his detox has on his website, really led me to this particular detox. He offers a 14-day herbal detox as well as a 28-day herbal detox. His website states that he's a certified plant-based nutritionist, an exercise physiologist, and also a doctor of pharmacy. If you haven't already, feel free to check out his content here on YouTube as well. So essentially, I was like, I'm going to do this. I actually was able to see him speak live here in LA, and It was inspiring, to say the least. So while I was there, he had some merch available for purchase. I picked up the 14-day detox and called up my best friend, and I asked her if she would do it along with me. She said yes, and we chose a date to start and press go. So before we get into my personal experience with the detox, I listed here on the screen for you the 2 different teas that you're supposed to drink during this 14-day detox. One is the tummy detox tea, and the other one is the parasite candida cleanse. So as I mentioned, I chose to do the 14-day cleanse. I chose to do it with my best friend just so we can kind of compare our experiences a little bit. Today we'll be focusing primarily on my experience, but I will add a little bit of her experience in towards the end as well. First, let's start off with what you need.
So these are all of the things that you will need for the detox. Here you see the parasite candida cleanse tea. As you can see on the package, it says 14-day detox. And this is the second tea, the tummy detox herbal blend. So these are the 2 packages that it comes in. You will need 2 32-ounce mason jars. I love this set that I got on Amazon. It comes with 2 closed lids, which came in handy. It also came with 2 tops like this that have a handle, and it has an opening at the top so you can drink it like that. I thought that was super cute and useful. There's 2 of those. It also came with 2 tops with holes in them so that you can use the space to close it like that. But when you open it, you have the option to use a straw, and it actually came with 2 steel straws, which I was really excited about. I am still using those now after the detox just to get in and hit my water intake for the day. And lastly, it came with the regular mason jar tops. I used these when my teas were steeping overnight. So along with the package, like I said, it comes with the 2 straws. It also comes with 2 cleaners that you can use to clean the inside of your straws. So that's good for hygiene purposes. I purchased these mesh strainers, but I didn't end up using them. I'll still link them below if you're interested. And this is the package insert that came along. It's just instructions, helpful information.
Where did I purchase my equipment? So everything that I purchased, I have linked below in the description box. I found everything on Amazon. Everything that you've seen on the screen came together as a kit, which was really awesome. It's something that I'm still using now after the detox just because it came in so handy with the different tops that you see there. What to eat while detoxing. So on this particular herbal detox, Dr. Bobby Price recommends to eat a raw plant-based diet. Now, I did not eat a raw plant-based diet. I'm going to be completely 100% honest. I already eat primarily plant-based, not raw, but plant-based. A lot of mornings I was having smoothies, which is considered a raw plant-based meal. But I did have cooked plant-based meals. I did actually have pizza with my son, and I believe I had a small portion of meat during the detox. So it definitely wasn't by any means what he recommended. So I just wanted to be transparent about that. Like I said earlier, it's winter time, it's cold, it's gloomy. Whenever the season is like this, I crave warmer foods, warmer beverages. And so, yeah, I definitely did not shy away from that at all. What to do?
So you will prep your teas in the evening time. You'll need some hot water, your 2 mason jars, your teas, and a flat, large tablespoon. So there's water already in there, spring water to be exact. And so I'm pouring that into my electric kettle. I have had this electric kettle. I want to say I got it from Walmart. Oh my gosh, probably 2-3 years ago. And in the wintertime, it comes in so clutch. It's electric, so you just press the button, it turns red, and then it will start to boil. So first I take my Parasite Candida Cleanse tea. I'm going to open that up so you guys can see what it looks like. They both have different kind of consistencies. So this is what that looks like. So while the water is boiling or getting ready to boil, I go ahead and start to add my teas directly into my mason jars. some people like to use a mesh ball, like a mesh strainer ball. I didn't like the idea of the mesh strainer sitting in the water overnight. So yeah, I opted not to do that. So I put it right into the mason jar by itself. And then once that's done, I wait for the water to finish boiling. And as you can see there, it's starting to boil. Once it reaches the right temperature, it'll turn green. And so I'll pour it directly on top of the herbs. The Parasite Candida Cleanse is a little bit darker in color. And the Tummy Detox tea, actually no, I think that's backwards. I think that's the Tummy Detox tea that I'm pouring it into now. So I put the lids on and I let them sit overnight. In the morning, I strain it. I have a fine mesh strainer, so I'll strain the teas. I strain them in the sink. I didn't capture that on film. And then I pour them back into the mason jar. I add this top on. I struggled a little bit while trying to do it with one hand to capture it for you guys. But I put it on and then I'm able to lift it up and carry it off to work just like that.
Something that I recommend to remind yourself of, so the detox does say to use spring water. There was an instance for myself and another instance for my best friend where we actually ran out of spring water. I was buying gallons of it, and I remember one night, I'm tired, but I'm like, let me make my tea so I have it ready for the morning, and I go to pour the water in my kettle, and I was like, I don't have any spring, or I don't have enough spring water left. I think what I did was just substituted distilled water for the rest of it. So definitely keep that in mind when you're purchasing your ingredients and everything that you need to complete the detox. One thing that you should not do, that it actually states to not do, I believe I mentioned it before, is to not chug the teas. Now let me tell you, by day 10, I was like, I'm chugging these teas, okay? I did feel like my body had adjusted to the herbs, and so I didn't notice any increase in abdominal cramping or anything like that. But for me, I was tired of carrying the mason jar around. I was tired of drinking the teas. I was just like, if I'm going to do it, let me try to chug it down within a 30-minute time frame and be done with it. I didn't want to be sipping on it all day long. So I did chug closer to the end the last couple days, but I didn't notice any adverse effects from doing so. But that is not me telling you to do it, and not saying that I recommend that you do it either. Follow the instructions, guys. Okay, so day one, the first thing, when you take that first sip, it is not going to taste super pleasant. It's going to be bitter. And so I definitely was making some faces as I drank the first tea. I believe I started off with the Parasite Candida Cleanse tea on day one in the morning. And yeah, it definitely didn't taste good. I was able to get it down. And by day 3, I was definitely drinking it a lot easier, so your taste buds will definitely adjust and adapt. Also on day 1, I did notice that I was pretty fatigued by the time it hit midday. I also had a really busy work morning, so I don't know if it was a combination of the two or if it was the tea starting to kick in and do its thing, but I did notice some fatigue starting on day 1. And that carried over into day 2. I woke up with fatigue. It wasn't horrible, but it was noticeable. And then also I had a mild headache. I don't like headaches. And so it was maybe a 2 out of 10. It wasn't enough for me to say, okay, I need to take something forward, or it's ruining the rest of my day. But I did notice it. And that 2 out of 10 headache lingered for most of the day. So I definitely think that was part of the detox starting to kick in, because that is one of the symptoms or side effects that it says that you may experience. By day 7, I was feeling a lot more energized. I was feeling like, let's go, let's handle business. As I mentioned before, around this time is when I was over just carrying the teas, or maybe even I was drinking the teas too slowly. And so I was like, yeah, I'm not taking all day, half a day to drink it. I think that was definitely way too long. So that may have been a hiccup on my end, but I was definitely over carrying the teas and sipping them slowly throughout the day. So that's when I started to kind of drink them a little bit faster. Didn't notice any increase in abdominal cramping, although I did have abdominal cramping almost every day. So I would have the abdominal cramping around like 3 or 4 in the morning, it would wake me up out of my sleep. And it was essentially like, I don't know if you've ever, this may be too much information, okay? But we're here to talk about the experience that I had transparently. So I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. So I don't know if you guys have ever had the feeling of a stomach cramp where you're like, oh, I got to go to the restroom. That's what woke me up around 3 or 4, almost every day of the detox. I got used to it to where it's like I would feel it and I'm like, oh, I know what it is. I literally would go to the bathroom and it's like, you're cleansing, okay? Things are coming out, to put it gently. But I definitely woke up every morning with that. And yeah, it wasn't painful in a way that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. It was uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, as soon as I went to the restroom, I felt fine. I went back to sleep. So yeah, that was every day. By day 10, I was still feeling really energetic. I was like, man, I think I found a nice groove. I don't know if it was because of the tea or because of something else, or a combination of multiple things, but I definitely was feeling really good still on day 10. Now, day 14, the last day, I definitely noticed some purging on my skin. And I know it's like, okay, why did it take till day 14? There's no like, oh, you're going to experience it from day this to day this. Everybody's experience is going to be a little bit different. I noticed a little bit of purging, but I also felt like, no, it wasn't like a bad thing. There was like maybe a few breakouts that I had, maybe like 1 or 2 that I noticed. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed the detox experience for the most part. So what were my results? I didn't take a lot of measurements. The one measurement that I did take was my weight. I started this detox off at 170.4 pounds and I ended it at 166.2 pounds. So that's a loss of about 4 pounds. Part of that I know was me losing water weight because some of the herbs act as a diuretic, but then also I know that, like I said before, I was having loose bowel movements, so I think I really did cleanse out from that perspective. Some of the herbs act as a laxative as well, and so I'm sure that the 4 pounds is from that. Now, I didn't do any measurements as far as like with the measuring tape, but I did notice by day 7 that my pants were fitting looser. Even some of my more high-waisted underwear, like they were fitting looser around my waist, and I was definitely not mad at that. So definitely noticed that in just the way that my clothes were fitting. My energy levels waxed and waned, but overall I noticed an increase in energy levels, which I was really excited about. And for the times, you know, for me having it wax and wane, I think it is important to know, and again, this may be TMI for some people, too much information. I started my cycle on day 12, so I think that also had a part to play in how my energy levels were during the detox as well. So I guess the big question is, would I do it again? And my answer is yes. For me, I would do this detox again. I think it is something that I would do at least twice a year. I don't know if I would do it more than that, but for sure, I think at least twice a year, I think it'll be something really good to do, something to reset at the beginning of the year and something to reset in the summertime. Now, y'all, my best friend, she only made it to day 10. She has eczema, and her eczema was just flaring up. We knew that that could possibly happen, and it did. So she was like, day 10, she tapped out. She was like, I can't do it anymore. I asked her if she would do it again, and she said no. She said that she may try another type of detox, but she said she doesn't know if her body is ready for this type of detox, at least her skin. She did reach out to Dr. Bobby Price to say like, hey, this is what I'm experiencing. And he once again kind of reiterated that that was pretty normal, and that, you know, to kind of go through it. But she decided not to. So that is it for my herbal detox experience. If there is anything that I didn't address, any questions that you have that I didn't answer, feel free to leave a comment below. And if you haven't already, make sure that you support my channel and subscribe, like, and comment. It really does go a long way to help me and my channel grow. And if you have any other detox experiences, something that was more extreme or something that was even a little bit more subtle that you may recommend, leave those comments below too. I do plan on doing another detox before the summer, or maybe even at the end of the summer, so let me know what you guys think.